Okay. Sounds good. I think it's going to go, am I live to the world?
You're live.
Okay. I think that the dark team will prevail again.
Yeah.
In what might also be a one-sided game.
Yeah.
But we're back for the second game in the inaugural Pride Broomball Games event at Augsburg Arena. 25 minutes running time per half. So these games last a while. We're working on stream quality, so feel free in the comments to complain about audio or visual problems. This is a test broadcast, and we've got additional hardware en route, so we're going to continue to keep improving the quality as we prepare to broadcast the Super Series in a couple of weeks. But for now, we're here, and we're in Augsburg, and we're having fun broadcasting this cool event. Amber pitched a shutout in her first game back after a long layoff, and she strides over into the crease and for game number 2. Molly played well in a 6-0 loss. It was 0-0 at the half, and then just fatigue set in, and it was a shooting gallery for the dark team. Names of the teams are the Queers and the Straights. The Queers are in black, the Straights are in white. So if you hear me refer to one of the teams as the Queers, that's because that's the name of their team. Renda with the drop. Won by the white team, poked back, and taken over. Touched back. Sent forward. Blocked aside. Shannon Obi. Obi touches it back. Sent forward. Cook takes over. Shannon breaks up the play from behind. Here come the Straights. Laura, camera person for game 1. Now out there on the ice playing in game 2. Cook takes over, a quick ball to AT. AT tries to bat it to the center and does. Cook with a quick pass to Jillian. Jillian, a goal scorer in the first game, sends it across. So for those unfamiliar with the event, the black team here is going to play 2 games tonight, pretty much back-to-back, a short intermission between them, against 2 different white teams. They won the first game 6-0. 0-0 here early doors in the second game. Here's Laura with a pickoff and a chance. Batted on. Amber sends that aside harmlessly. Parisian takes over. And what we're thinking is this might be another sort of Harlem Globetrotters moment where I would say the dark team heavily favored, although white's pestering right now. They'll launch that in. Amber bats it aside. Amber doing her best Rudy Gobert impression there, just knocking them aside of the net. Hugh takes over on the near wall. Flips that up. Got Marsala out in front of her, her Arctic Blast teammate. Jess touches it over, and this is Hugh. Hugh back to Jess. Jess with the wrister. Just saucers it forward. Couldn't quite load up the full top shelf wrister there, but was probably thinking about it. Hugh jams it in front. Doesn't quite go. Hugh again trying to bat it in front. Marsala takes over behind. Marsala in front. Ball held, but not by Molly. Batted out. This is Ogdahl. Ogdahl cutting to the center of the ice and in some space. Has the team made up. Chance for the white team coming down in a 3-on-1. Gonna pump it. Woo, just wide. I think Amber got a piece of it, kept it out of the net. And a drive. Wide. That was Elena with that drive. Parisian tries to send that out, can't quite do it, but she'll recover on her own mistake and carry forward. Batted up, this is Capo trying to turn the corner, can't quite do it. That ball's sent back. Molly has it. Molly swipes it to the corner because she didn't have other options. Shannon running forward, takes a slash from Amber, no call. And here comes Roth bombing the ball forward. Referees didn't see any problem with the slash and keeps the game going, I guess. Although it's running time. That's, again, a chance. A wrister. Here's Laura. Chance to be a hero. Amber swats it aside. So white team's putting up a little better fight than the first white team did early doors. But it could also be fatigue a little bit setting in for the dark team, although they have 90 people here, so it shouldn't be too fatigue-inducing. They don't have 90, but they probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people on their bench. Touch to the middle nicely. Laura makes a good play to set up a teammate. Amber has to make a legitimate save there and does. Pestered from behind, she sends it back. Bodner takes over. Bodner with Laura on her. Whips it around. Roya moves this forward. Not out though. Touched aside, and here's Ellen with speed. Ellen's just roaring forward. Ellen trying to go 1-on-4, now has it over to Melissa. Melissa to Amanda. Amanda with a shot. Wide. Morgan bats that away from Ellen briefly. Here's Melissa touching it to Megan. Nearly picked off. Ellen will take it, try to go back door. Still wants that pass across, now has it. Fans on the one-timer there. Just bats that down to Amanda. Amanda trying to find Ellen on a one-timer out of the air. Ambitious play. Ellen took a crack at it, didn't quite come up with it. Here's Elena clearing. Megan will take over. Megan just swats it down. Some personnel change on the white team and the dark team. And Morgan takes over. Morgan with a little flare on her uniform. I like it. Amanda. Melissa and Morgan battle for it. Melissa comes up with that. Megan with a drive. Wide. Morgan takes over. Batted in, but to no trouble. Ogdahl takes over. 18.5 left here in the first half. Elena with a nice little pivot there. Touches that aside to a teammate, striding down the ice. Good speed. Backs up and resets. Sent across nicely. Kicked low. Shannon can unload and does. Blocked aside by AT. Jillian's got a chance to toss it up the sidewall. Tried to spin backwards. Actually, here's a really good chance by the white team. Almost scores. Megan looking for a long clear, but that should be a hand pass. No, they just call it a deflection. So play continues. Ooh, blows a tire. AT, can she get there? Nope, that's batted low. Cook bats it to herself, and now she's gone in space. She's got Jillian and can't quite connect on the pass. Does follow up, but it has allowed the white team largely to get back. The numbers were there early. Cook wants another chance at that pass. AT tries to center it. Nobody home. Jillian takes over, though. And there's a beautiful pass. AT on the one-timer. Just misses near post. Cook with the ball. Just surveying. Sends a pass down to AT. AT sends that to Jillian. Jillian sends it to Cook. Cook can take a couple strides. Didn't quite catch that ball cleanly. AT drives it in. Nice defense. White team takes over. The Straights are struggling to break out just like they were in game one. And once again, it is kept in. Yeah. Too strong. They're just too strong. Here's Cook in space. Biz drops that ball back. Now back to Biz. Biz with a drive to the middle. Here's Jess. Jess with the wrister. Batted aside by Molly. Cleared down. Amber's going to come out to play it. Not going to let that white team change if she can help it. Well, they're going for the change anyway. Give the ball to Hugh now. There's Hugh in space. She walks her defender. She's got a chance. She goes for a post. What a goal! Hugh Trin receives the ball at the blue line. Walks her defender like she was on a leash and strolls into the net. Wow. Nice move, nice goal. And it's 1-0. Boy, that's fun to see. Marsala in the draw circle here for the dark team. Looks like Elena for the white team. Capo sends that across to Roth. Roth will attack the middle. Nearly picked off. Could have been a breakaway the other way. Just makes a good play. This white team's pestering the dark team a little more. 14 minutes. Here's Elena. She's giving a quick pass. She's going to have to take over and kind of control that ball herself there. That's low. Here's Laura. If Laura can find Elena, but she couldn't quite navigate the pass, so she'll send it around to Elena, who continue to run down behind the net. Elena tries to send that in. Tough angle. Roth is down there battling now. Dark comes out with it. Capo sends it up, and it's a 2-on-1. Just send it to her. She's offside. She was tripping over the blue waiting for Hugh to give her the ball, and it just didn't quite work out. A step away from Jess being in on a breakaway. Close but no cigar. 13:18 remaining. Our clock is just a hair behind the game clock, but we're within 7 or so seconds, so we'll let you know. Oh, look at that. And our tech-savvy crowd syncs our clocks right up. So it's 1-0. Trin is the goal scorer. Tucked up now. It's a breakaway the other way. White's got a chance. Amber plays the angle. Amber makes the save. Amber maybe took a whack on the leg there, but she seems all right. Pop the water bottle and reset. Shannon Obie into the draw circle against her friend Ellen Rochelle. They're already battling before the ball even gets dropped. Tracy Tremblay, the referee, drops the ball, and we're back underway. The Straights have possession right now, and they send it down the wall. Nice play there by Serene to bat that thing out. The Straights control. There's a shot. Roya. Bodner. Bodner will carry it. Couldn't quite get it to Ellen. Now she can. Ellen to Elke. Elke fans on catching the pass, but Ellen takes over. She'll carry the zone, touches it back to Elke. Elke's coming down the sidewall. She's going to hammer it in front, misses. Collects the ball. That running backhand, Melissa just tried. There's a few people in the game I can think of that have that running backhander. Jake Stein, Steve Rohde had a good one for many years. That's no easy feat, though. I wish I had that in my bag of tricks, and I can hit a backhander while I'm standing pretty well, but if I drop to my knees, oh man, it gets bad quick on the backhand. Picked off, sent on, nice save by Molly. Falls right into the breadbasket for Molly on the follow-up. 9:57 remaining here in the first half. 1-0, Dark team. Starting to lean on and apply the same kind of pressure that they did to the first round opponent. Although I'll credit this white team with a few more offensive chances than the first team. Elena versus AT, won by AT. Touched aside, Melissa and Morgan will bat on the wall, and it'll fall now to Laura. And Laura has got some numbers. The zone has been gained. Elena's crashing. She pulls up. She doesn't have reinforcements back, so she'll go forward. Here's Elena trying to stuff it in the middle. Nobody really home there. A lot of defense to try to pass that through. There's Ogdahl. Ball that's tipped on pretty nicely. Megan will try to clear. Batted down. Sent down. Here's Elena. Elena tries to chip that into space. Doesn't work out, and Jillian takes over. We're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just check to see if I missed any chat or anything. I'll assume not. Nope, we haven't missed anything.
Okay.
And then battery life might be a question.
Yeah. Do we want to go battery into here?
We can try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah. We'll try that. All right.
Is it charging at all?
It seems to be.
Oh, cool. Excellent.
Yeah. We are having a few little technical difficulties, but we're soldiering on. 7:48 remaining here in the first half. 1-0. White team takes over. Battle on the near wall. Can't quite see the play, but it results in Elena in a breakaway. She can tie the game. She's got a chance. She chips it up and in. Elena with a good goal. Finally, somebody solves Amber there with a nice little chip play. And it is 1-1 in game number 2. Do the Straights start to dream? It's early doors, but they got the answering goal. Now the defense. Can they settle in? I just stole 3 of your Mike and Ikes.
That's good. I stole, I think, about that many, if not more.
Of my jollies?
At least that many.
Fair.
And the Fritos.
Oh, Fritos are good.
Left, but that
That's like a...
might be worse for the audience than Mike and
I don't think I can eat a Frito on camera. Uh-oh, that's dangerous. Cook has it. She shoots it. It's bouncing around, but it doesn't make its way to the frame. Sealed off. Sarah bats it forward, and now it's numbers again. Batted across, right back to her. Oh, Amber makes a good save. Wow. Morgan sends it down. Kept in. Ball's sent through. Laura takes over. Laura bats the ball up. That should go for an icing. Wow, some excitement there. So much so that I inhaled a Mike and Ike down the wrong tube. Nearly passed out in my chair. Boy, 2-0 there. White team could have taken the lead. Really put the pressure on the black team. Instead, we remain knotted at 1. Roth with the ball. Nice little shot. Molly with a good save there. Capo drilled that thing high and hard, and it didn't quite go. Great setup. Ogdahl trying to clear. Marsala takes over. Has the wrister to Capo. Capo can load again, and does. Wide and high all the way. Roth now has a chance to drive one. Instead lays it off. Flared in, bouncing ball. Hugh takes over. Capo to the center. Roth wants the one-timer, doesn't quite connect. Bodner's got it. Bodner with a drive, no dice. Morgan takes over. Morgan sends it up to Shannon. Shannon tries to chip it past. Roth will be the first one back there. Uh-oh, and there's the turnover. Shannon's got the numbers. Shannon sends it to Laura. Laura can't quite catch up with the pass. Laura's going to drive that thing across, though. Blocked aside by Jess, and she'll take over. Here's Roya. Out into space. Nice pass. Can Amber chip it past Ogdahl? She can, but not quite past the second defender. Amber Roth does a really nice job getting herself into space, but didn't have a chance to get through and test the goalkeeper there. Here's Marsala. At Ellen Lowe sends the pass down. There's Shelby with a nice turn and twist, and that ball's bouncing in. But not in. Knocked low. Marsala has it on her broom again. She goes right at Molly. Molly has the near post sealed up tight and gathers that one in no problem. .220 or so remaining in the first half here. Ball won by the Straits. Sent around. Morgan will be the one with it. Morgan tries to saucer a pass up and through. Parisian will be the first one there. Sarah with a aggressive play almost gets it to her teammate, but Parisian gathers and controls. rips the ball around, touch pass up here. Here's AT to Ellen. Ellen's in space. She's got Ogdahl charging back on D. Can Ellen send this in the corner? She can. Ellen Rochelle goes up top to make it 2-1. Pretty much as soon as she gathered at the blue line, we thought this might be a top shelf wrister. Open the shoulders, look at your target, and fire it up top. Big goal there near the end of the half. Here's Elke. Elke scored a goal in the first game.
So sorry for the poor camera work. I'm getting engrossed in the action. So fortunately, we have an actual camera. That's not me for the Super Series. But sorry.
Our cameraman, if you can't hear him, is complaining about how bad he is at camera work, but he's not the camera person when we have the full crew here, but we're working a little short-handed right now. The game's still live. White team's just off. There we go. 30 seconds remaining. Tapped up and out. Morgan will take over. She'll try to send that ball up. Doesn't quite work out. McDonald sends it across Serene with a one-timer. Couldn't quite connect on frame. Great idea. Morgan will take over, maybe just try to kill the half with 4 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Exciting. Elena with a breakaway gives the white team a goal. But Hugh Trin and Ellen Rochelle answer for the black team. 2-1 at the half. Kind of fun. Nice way to spend a Friday night.
Our team's starting to look a little tired in the
Yeah,
second half, so I'm a
for
little
sure.
worried about the next
Yeah.
5 minutes. But we'll see.
I have a feeling that as the evening wears on,
You want to need to use this break in the action?
no, I think I'm good. Not really a dinner of champions, though. Jolly Joe's, Fritos, and M&M's, but
Dinner of broadcasters, though.
it's the dinner of broadcasters. Tracy Tremblay refereeing the games. So cool. Haven't seen her in a while. One of my all-time faves. A player from before your time, young man. But man, a gamer. A high-level gamer.
You can start the time and adjust that as well.
Okay. Second half about to begin. Looks like Shannon will be out to take the draw for the white team. Looks like Cook, Hugh Trin, Bodner, the forward line for the black team. Roth back there on D. And we are underway, and the clock is going. And about there. Okay, here we go. White team trying to break out. We talked a little at the half, maybe not totally on stream, about the fact that we think the white team is going to get tired. They don't have very many players, but wow, rings the post, and then it bounces around and in. Bodner almost deserved the goal there off the post, but it rung around and batted out front, and Hugh finished it for her second one of the game. 3-1. Queers lead the straights. I don't think the result is surprising so far. I would have kind of expected them to be winning. Cook wins the draw. Nice defensive play by Morgan to break up any of the attack. Here comes Shannon. Shannon, oh, and it's a chance again. Boy, the white team has found a few little holes in the defense, but only one goal to show for it so far. Shannon to Ogdahl. This is Sarah. I don't think the zone's good yet, but that does bounce favorably. Drags it low. Cook lays off on the D, not playing it super hard-nosed. Shannon throws that in front. Now Cook takes over. She'll stride behind the net. Cook serves, surveys, sends it up to Hugh. Hugh chops it up the wall, can't get past Ogdahl, so she'll send that back to Cook. Cook looks at a long pass up the other side, but instead just waits. Now attacks the open space, backs off, sends it over. This is Capo. Polmeyer sends that up. Doesn't quite work out. Marsala back checks and gathers. Drops that off for Cook. Goes on a journey of her own. Cook walks back down behind the net. And here they move forward. Here's Polmeyer. Tries to chop that past the defender and does. Now in some space, moving with some speed. Touched up. Drop pass. Sent over. This is Megan. Megan with a drive. Bouncing in on Molly. It's a free ball in front. Batted aside by Morgan. Way to get it out from in front of the net. That ball's chopped in. Batted aside by Morgan. Morgan doing the thankless work of just trying to keep the ball away from the goaltender.
She's a defender for the Super Series team as well, right?
She does play for the women's team in the Super Series. Yep.
As a defender?
As a defender. Yeah, a lot of the women out here on both sides are going to be playing for the United States of America here in a couple of weeks, either on the women's team or on the mixed team. That ball's cleared. Amber will be out to play it. Ricochets off, unfortunately off the referee. Falls. Elena going for her second goal of the day. Can't quite connect. Shelby sends that around. AT tries to flip it out of the zone. Doesn't quite work. But now it falls to Ellen, who drops it off. Jess can flip over the top. It's a nice play. Polmeyer can't quite get there, but Ellen can. Ellen has it in the corner. Slides it back on a touch pass to Polmeyer. K-post pivots. Almost tripped, but she'll drive a ball. Ricochets off the defender and out of the zone. Smith takes over. Sends that to Elke. And Elke just wanders off the wall with the ball. Smith. This is Capo with a drive. Big heavy shot, well wide. Sent up and out. Teammates colliding with each other there. Everybody seems okay. Ellen touches it back to Melissa. Melissa knocks that ball forward. No rush here, no rush. Ooh, that's a tough pass. Turned over. Now forward, McDonald sends that to nobody in particular. Doesn't quite work out. Now the black team gains the zone and sets up. Falls to Elke, who bats it in front. It's in a dangerous spot, but it doesn't fall anybody's way. Instead, it's to the wall. Here's Elke. Elke out front again. This is McDonald. She just resets. Back to McDonald. She sends it in. Elke can't quite connect on that. Laura should look to clear and does, but I don't think that's going out, and it isn't out. Hit low. Elke turns. Sends the ball bouncing across. It skips off the defenders, or off her teammates' broom and out off of the goaltender. And still in. Here's Sarah. Sarah kicks it. Laura can't quite catch up to it for a breakaway. But at least the Whites set up the zone. They're able to change some personality. Oh, Laura on the doorstep. There's a shot by Morgan. Ogdahl with the drive. That's bouncing in front. Nobody there to collect it except Hugh for the D. There's Laura with the drive, and she bangs it! The bouncing ball falls Laura's way, and she smokes it home. With 17:15 remaining in the game, it's now 2-3. Maybe a little fatigue from the dark team.
Don't change the channel.
Exactly. We got ourselves a ball game here. I don't know if the Washington Generals ever beat the Harlem Globetrotters, but we might see it tonight here. Okay. Laura is on the board. The ball fell her way, and she just hammered it.
Also was camera woman.
The power of the one-timer. Doesn't, a B+ one-timer is better sometimes than an A+ shot you take your time on. All right, so the white team's now looking to tie, the all-important tying goal. She drags forward, still has the ball. White team throws it low, but Hugh takes over. Uh-oh. Here's Bodner. Bodner can go. Bodner's trying to motor. Good defense. The white team manages to weasel their way in there, and there's a shot. Bounced out. Here comes Elena in the counterattack. Elena already has one goal in her room. Elects to send that off the backside. Yeah, right now, back and forth we go for sure. Nice play by Amber to keep that from getting out in front of the net. Hugh takes over. Things are getting a little ragged out there. Hugh's going to slow things down. That's to Cook. Cook will go behind the net. Elena has it. Knocked down. Nice cut to the middle. Bouncing ball. Here comes Cook. To Parisian. Boy. Cook. There's Jess. Jess doesn't know about Shannon, but she controls anyway. Touches that back to Roya. Roya sends that to Megan. Megan might drive that. She does, but off the wall, wide to Parisian. Parisian tries to saucer that into the middle. Next goal so important. Which way is it going to go? 3-2 dark team. Megan, a high floating ball that Morgan collects and sends to the wall. Morgan pivots away from pressure, sends it to Ogdahl. Ogdahl wanders forward a few steps, now sends it back to Morgan. Morgan fakes a long pass, gathers it behind the net, touches back to Ogdahl. Nice patience out of the white team on the breakout here. Shannon trying to bash that ball up and out and managed to do so on a weird bounce. Cook touches it to Megan. Megan's got it to Parisian. Right into the teeth of the dark D. Cook takes over. Cook goes for a change, so the dark team just bats it deep. AT is on. Turnover again. Boy, the white team's fatigue might be setting in here. They can't break out. They're not giving up a ton, but man, they're having a tough time getting anywhere. Parisian. Shelby just wings that around to AT. AT had to stay on side there. Capo has that. Here's Ellen. Hard swing from AT. Manages to miss chopping anybody's hand off, which is good. This is Sarah, pursued heavily by Ellen. Ellen's going to go goal hunting here. Here's Jillian. Offsides. They got to check up. Well, they're saying play on. No whistle. A lot of confusion from all the players there on whether the game was still going or not. Felt like an obvious offsides whistle, but no call. A one-timer in the middle's fanned down. The ball goes to the wall. Laura bats it up, and can she get it out? She sure can, and it's a foot race. Jillian will get there first. Amber will swing that ball around. Capo wanders back behind the net. 11:38 remaining in the game. There's a breakaway. Here's a chance. Molly makes the save. She doesn't know where the ball is. She gets plowed over, and there's a whistle. I don't think she ever had the ball secured, but maybe just because she fell awkwardly or the referee couldn't see the ball, we have a stoppage, so we will have a face-off low.
Could have been a delayed offsides.
What's that?
Could have been a delayed offsides.
What? Elena into the draw circle for the white team. Won cleanly, though, by the black team. And here is Amber. And she sends it to Elke. Elke sends a bouncing ball in on Molly. But Molly's up to the task. That's one and falls to Morgan. Morgan sends that around to Ogdahl, her D partner. Ogdahl pivots and sends it to Elena. Elena's got Laura. Black team hustling back on D, but there are some numbers. Didn't quite work out. Elke takes over. Battled on the wall and up and out. Morgan will jog back and grab that. Ogdahl. Morgan goes for a shift, so Ogdahl holds and controls. Heavy pressure from Hume. She wins the ball. Throws it low. It's just going to go grab it herself. Tries to find Elke for the one-timer and it's tipped it in. Hume with a nice pass. Elke sends it in. The ball's tipped. And it is now 4-2. Draw one cleanly by Cook. Kind of a scrapping battle in the middle. They're on sides. Here's Cook. She flings it for Bodner. Bodner can get there and sends it back in. Hugh will chase that down, send it up to Megan. Megan, there's a turnover. This gal's in space. Cook takes over. Cook tries to drive that ball around and does. This is Bodner. Bodner flips it up and out. Here's Hugh. Hugh helped manufacture the previous goal. All right, the white team cruising down here, down 2 goals. They're going to need one quick, and it could be here. There's a drive. Patted aside, pretty good look. They're going to need to score and then score again. But we are looking at kind of an exhibition match vibe here, so I don't know how hard they're going to go to try to tie this thing up, but maybe. Yeah, we'll see if the goalie comes off. That'll tell a lot with about 4 minutes to go down 2. They'll probably have to pull.
Previous game was 6-1, right? So
6-0, right?
6-0?
Yeah.
So they're already outperforming the previous teams. There's maybe a bit of rivalry there, right?
Yeah, maybe. Uh-oh. Pretty good defense there. Morgan keeps Jillian from... And here's Ogdahl. She gets it through. The shot! Oh, just wide. Cheney nearly had this thing within a goal. Ogdahl sends this back. Morgan's put one down the pike. Parisian knocks it aside. Shannon tries to gobble it up. Can't quite do it. This is Ogdahl. Ogdahl. That's batted aside. Here comes Jess Marsalis. She tries to flip it over. I kind of like the creativity. Didn't work out. Here's Shannon working hard to the corner, but Parisian seals it off and sends it low. Ogdahl takes over under 6 minutes remaining in the game. 2-goal deficit for the white team. They possess right now. They clear. Capo takes over. McDonald wide open there for a second on the far side of the ice. Now she scampers across. Capo takes it. Ellen takes over. On sides. Smith has it. Driven in, blocked aside by Elena, touched by Ellen back to Smith. Smith tries to float that up, and it's turned over, and here's Laura. Laura's trying to win a foot race, can't quite do it. Laura nearly had a breakaway. There's batted aside. Laura sends a nice pass to the center. That ball's batted down by Amber. White's trying to make a go of it here. Yeah. There's a shot. Elena's shot goes well wide. 4.5 remaining. That ball set in front. No goal. Capo keeps it out. Elena had it into the back door and batted aside. 4:15. That might have been the chance. Here's Elke working hard. trying to keep her team up 2 goals. Morgan comes flying in, tries to find a quick pass. Maybe should have carried it on her broom another couple strides. Elke to Amber. Amber's going to go right up the center here. Drag and protect the ball. Maybe going to fire it on. Doesn't quite get much on it. 3.5. White needs to get the ball, maintain possession, and get the goaltender off. Here's Elke with a drive, bounced aside. White should control the ball. Control the ball. There you go. That's the person you want to have the ball. Morgan can control. Boy. Okay. We're trying to get the goaltender off here, White. Turned over, and it's a 3-on-2 if they hustle. Neither team running with the pace they did at the start of this game. Elke wide open for the one-timer. Pass kind of handcuffed her. That's up off the glass. Morgan takes over again. 2:45 remaining. Got to score twice. Directing a little traffic out there. Shannon carries it forward. Tries to find a teammate for a breakaway. Sarah will chase this down in the corner. Sacrifice possession. They couldn't get the goaltender off. Not even really moving to get the goaltender off. I guess they've decided that's not part of the strategy. .155 remaining, 2-goal lead. Looks like the dark team will get this done. They're not going to face too much pressure if they don't get the goaltender off. And so the queer team should remain undefeated for the evening at the inaugural Pride Broomball games. Shannon works the ball forward. Laura tries to center it. Shannon knocks it low, 120. Still a chance to stick one in the net probably and make it 4-3. But the forecheck isn't really on. Here comes Laura now. She's trying for it at least. Touch aside. This is Roya. Tries to center it. Shannon will touch it away. And there's Laura. Sarah's got some wheels to the backside. There's the ball lofted in. And it's bounced. 55 seconds. Can it get it in front? Not quite. Nice play by Bodner to defend. And here's Hugh. Hugh will chip it up, and just too much speed there for Hugh. They did get the goaltender off, but way too late. Now it's an empty net. Morgan will fight for it and get there. AT will take over, send it to Hugh. Hugh tries to throw it on frame. Again, still doesn't work. 30 seconds remaining in the game. AT has it on the sidewall. She'll reset. Bodner takes over. Tries to throw it low. Here's AT. 14-13. Game's going to wind down. Hugh takes one last poke at the net, but it goes wide. Ogdahl. There's a wrister blocked aside. Sarah will try to send that to Laura. Time expires. And that's the end of the inaugural Pride Broomball event. Thanks for watching.